So if you've tried creatine before and hated the bloating, the stomach issues, or having to chug down a bunch of powder every day, this might be worth checking out. So let's go over the Creatine HCL with HMB. I'm gonna break down what's actually in this, explain how it's different from regular creatine monohydrate, and talk about who this is for, all to help you make a better informed buying decision for your supplements. And there's something about how these two ingredients work together that I found really interesting. So of course, this is a creatine supplement in capsule form. You get 180 vegan capsules per bottle, which gives you a 60-day supply at the recommended 3 capsules per day. So this is actually fewer capsules than you typically need with monohydrate because HCl absorbs so much better. And there are 2 key ingredients, the creatine HCl and HMB, and I'll break those down in a second here. So this is made in California, it's vegan, keto friendly, and they do a 3-point testing system on every batch. So let's have a look at the bottle here. So here we go. Here's a look at the bottle. Just twist off the cap, have a look at the capsules themselves. So you're really just standard size capsule, not too big, not too small. It's a white powder in here. Okay, so let's talk about what's actually in this. So we have 1,250 milligrams of the creatine HCl. So this is creatine bound to hydrochloric acid. So the same stuff that's in your stomach acid. And it dissolves 38 times faster than monohydrate and absorbs about 15 times better. So you need way less of it to get the same effect. So there's no loading phase, no bloating, no water retention, and no stomach issues. So people with sensitive stomachs especially notice the difference with this. Okay, and then there's the HMB, the 𝗕𝗘𝗘𝗟. This is a compound your body naturally makes from leucine, one of the key amino acids for muscle. But you need to eat a ton of protein to get much of it naturally. This helps slow down muscle breakdown and supports muscle retention, especially during intense training phases or if you're older and want to maintain what you've built. And what's interesting about this combo is they have synergistic effects, meaning they work better together than separately. So the brand cites studies showing increased muscle gains and power output compared to creatine monohydrate alone. So that's what makes this creatine supplement different than a lot of other creatine supplements out there. And also there's nothing else in here. So there's no gluten, GMOs, soy, dairy, egg, fish, shellfish, tree nut, artificial colors, artificial flavors. So all that's not in here. So that's of course really important when you are picking out supplements. Okay, so what's good about this? So the biggest thing is no bloating. That's the number one thing that is great about this creatine. If you've ever taken creatine monohydrate, I've had problems with bloating and just, discomfort, stomach discomfort when doing creatine monohydrate when I'm in that loading phase. And there's 0 water retention with this. So this is great for people with GI sensitivity, no gas, no upset stomach. As mentioned, there's no loading phase with this, so you're not having to load up on creatine and waiting for the effects to take place. With the HCl, you just take your regular dose from day 1. And if you've ever taken a creatine before, whether that be monohydrate or 𝗕𝗘𝗚𝗓, something that absorbs faster, you're gonna see results fairly instantly, at least feel the change in the gym pretty quickly. You'll be able to work out harder. Things that can be improved, again, the serving size is 3 capsules. There's 180 capsules in here, so that's 60 servings. It'd just be nice if there were just less pills you had to take. You have multivitamins, other pills that you might be taking, so just adding another 3 pills can be a lot. So if you really prefer a powder that you just drink, then these might not be for you. However, you can still take out the capsules and pour out the powder from the capsules if you would like. So who should get this? So people who've tried creatine monohydrate and had issues, if monohydrate doesn't agree with your system, the bloating, the upset stomach, the water retention, this is really worth looking into. Also, this is great for people who are traveling and busy, who don't want to deal with the powder. If you're constantly on the go or just don't want to mess around with shaker bottles, and gritty powders, you can just toss this in your gym bag or suitcase, no mess, no mixing. You could also even open them up and add the powder to a smoothie, if that's your thing. This is also great for older adults needing creatine for muscle maintenance. If you've given up on creatine because, other forms cause problems, this might work for you. The HMB also helps with age-related muscle preservation. This is also great for people who want to stay lean while building muscle and strength. The HCl form doesn't cause water retention. You're not gonna get that puffy feeling or feel bloated. So in my opinion, if you've had issues with the traditional creatine, the bloating, the stomach problems, the hassle of powders, this is definitely worth checking out.